Hello and welcome to the Wynonna Earp Recap Podcast here on the Amber Plaster channel. That's right. That's where we live. This is Wynonna Earp Season 4, Episode 6, Holy War Part 2. That's right. This is the second part of the finale. Oh my goodness. I'm Yael Tygiel. I don't want to jump in. I'm so excited. Amber Plaster is here.
What up?
Hello. Kari Lane is here.
What's up, everybody?
Alexis is here.
Hello, everyone.
It took me all season to figure out where to point. I'm so proud. That's right.
We got there.
Yep. It is the mid-season finale, which is really crazy. How did y'all feel about this finale for where we're at? Amber, we'll start with you.
Can I just say that I loved that it didn't end on a really terrifying cliffhanger?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I kind of, like, my stomach was so tight just watching up to the end, like, okay, what is it? And then someone's going to get shot, and someone's going to get, and like, they just let it end on a lovely note, and they just trusted that we would want to continue watching it.
Yeah, absolutely. Kari, what'd you think?
Yeah, totally agree. I like that they wrapped up enough of what is going on that we feel like, okay, this will tide us over. And same, I was super anxious in the last little bit of it. Like, something's going to happen. Please don't do that to us for the end of this part. But there's definitely more room for growth. There's a lot of things unanswered. So it's a good, like, I'm good for now. But when am I going to get more? When I saw this thing and at the end it says 2021, it's like, okay, well, at least we know it's coming, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Alexis, what'd you think?
I'm pretty much on the same boat as everybody else, where I definitely was expecting it, because you know when things go too well and like, oh, everyone's happy, we're all drinking, we get, and then I was just waiting for that thing to just like, haha, surprise, mother F's. Like, I was just like expecting it. But I'm really glad I didn't do that. And of course, like, come on, we got way hot and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I want to remind our audience who is here live with us that we do have a live chat that we are paying attention to. So share your thoughts with us, please. And some of your comments may end up on screen with us. Let's talk about Way Hot, Alexis. Great segue there. I really, we trusted, as Jeremy said, trust them. They know what they're doing. And I expected when we had this astral play Nicole, this ghost Nicole, I was like, cool, let's get her stuck in the astral plane. And I expected that to stay through the whole episode and be part of a cliffhanger. And like we said, there was no cliffhanger. We got her back. How did y'all feel about this? And Jeremy and Nedley's involvement was so fun. Tell me what you guys are thinking.
I loved how they dealt with her as a ghost, because she had some ability to, because it would have been boring if she couldn't do anything. But the way she was able to tie it in with the Reaper was super cool, and be able to talk that way. And it would have been interesting to have her stuck as a ghost, but I'm glad we didn't. I think it was just the right amount of time to be interesting, but be like, okay, I'm ready for it to move on.
Well, like she said, if you stay in there for very long, she's, her physical body's going to die. In fact, I feel like she was out of her body for way too long for that to be remotely realistic.
TV minutes, guys.
Yes, this is true.
I think Jeremy points out, like, if it's too long, there's going to be brain damage. And I was like, because it's been too long. I'm sorry, Jeremy. I don't know what science class you took, but there's going to be permanent brain damage on this.
Ghost River Triangle rules. Everything's
right.
a little
off.
TV time.
Yeah.
But I really do like how much our team has returned with Jeremy and Nedley doing this. And then, of course, once we get Nicole back, we get the full, this is what happened, this is what I did. We have all the answers. It was that she was to deliver Doc. And then we have the proposal, the romantic, the world's not about to end proposal. How we all feeling about this? We've been waiting for this for so long.
So good. I mean, I think we all would have rioted if we didn't have the Way Hot proposal in this episode, and we had to wait until next year.
It was a good scene. For me, I felt like it was been piecemealed out for like forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many seasons has it been of them getting together? So like, I was like, okay, we get it. You're in love. We get you. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, it's 4 years now.
Because they've been through different timelines and they've been through trauma. So I guess they wanted to really make a meal out of it. I liked that they had, the whole team there kind of passing out shots, almost as if they all knew, this is what's happening. I don't think I've seen a lot of that in modern day proposals, sort of including the friends and family in a very calm, mature way. Usually
it's only at like the holiday
vibe. I don't know.
Like at Christmas, that's when it's, everybody's already there.
Yeah.
It was nice. It felt like more of a group support ceremony than a proposal that we've seen before. So I liked how it was handled. I know that they had to do it again, but she already proposed. It's true. They're already in love. We get it. So a little bit, I was like,
it's funny that you say that because I almost thought that it was going to be the wedding.
Me too. I kind of wondered if it's the wedding too.
Since they're already all there.
Yeah. He had like his button up and everything. I was like, oh, are we getting like a little shotgun wedding? Like, is that what's happening? Like, I thought that's like,
do that for those kids.
Like Jeremy got officiated online or something.
Right.
Yeah, or something weird. Yeah,
no, that's not Waverly's style. That might be Wynonna's style to get a shotgun wedding. But Waverly's going to have a whole theme.
Yeah, she has to be dressed up.
All right. That's enough wedding talk. Let's.
I was good with it.
Lovebirds. Let's talk a little bit about Rachel's storyline. I feel like I loved the introduction of this character, and I have felt like she has been underutilized all season. Like once we met her and she was badass, then she turned into a teenage girl. And I really feel like she's been mopey about a boy for a long time and not the like kick-ass fighter that we met. The girl who literally survived on her own.
Yeah, yes. I'm definitely with you on that because I feel like that was kind of like but like I also feel like they were trying to really show that because we haven't seen what these 18 months have done, that maybe like, she finally got to, because that's the other thing is she hasn't had technically human interaction that entire time that she was surviving. So the fact that she was finally in a town with people and she had like this like big sister character, esque in her life, she had something to protect. She finally had a normal lifestyle. So now she was able to have her first love. I mean, maybe, I don't know. So I think that's where like the feels came in and that's why she was so mopey about it. Cause she is still a teenager age. Did we get an age verification? Yeah. So like, I can't say anything about it to a point because she is still a teenager. They still do dumb things in that sense.
I'm right in between both of that there.
I see your point, though. I do see your point.
You know what I mean? Like, like I get it, even though we wanted it to be different. We were pushing for that extra, like, I don't need this. I'm a badass. But, like, at the same time, I get it. It's weird. 17,
she went from being so skilled to making kind of dumb mistakes. I mean, yes, she's used to going by herself, which fine. I liked how we talked about it last week of like, you should have brought people, but how she gets snuck up upon multiple times. I'm just like, girl, you have proven that you can survive all these other things. And now you're like, oh, whoops. I'm like,
Is it possible that because she's gotten comfortable, she's gotten lazy, not lazy, but like not hyper vigilant?
Her guards have gone down because she's always had, I was gonna say way hot, Nicole to help her out with stuff. And then now, she has people to depend on now. So at this point, she's not saying that she's not thinking clearly. I just think that she doesn't realize the danger as high as it was before, where she was literally on her own. So
I wish we could have gotten a happy medium on that though. Like maybe she's not as badass, but not like
completely
nature,
just
like somewhere
damsel in distress kind of thing. I got you.
I would give her points. I would give her leeway because I was a crazy teenager and I would have absolutely walked right into danger without thinking twice about it, looking behind my back. to go see my boyfriend. That's exactly what I would have done.
All right.
I'm not saying it's smart. I'm not saying I approve of it. I'm just saying I get it. So
Okay.
It's more not necessarily out of the realm of possibility. It's more just she started as so like, ooh, you're so cool.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay.
yeah.
I mean, I still love her. I love that character.
She was kind of trapped in there to have to survive. She couldn't really. She almost was protected and trapped at the same time. She couldn't really bounce one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about because it'll tie back into Rachel. Let's talk about Wynonna and Doc because we get Rosita. We go to the nuns. The nuns turn out to be demons.
Well,
we get
one nun. Oh no, you're right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We get
I thought the nuns were
Peacemaker.
demons from the start. If they're dealing with passageways,
Yeah. I mean, come on.
that's witchy energy.
Mhm.
Witch and demon are two different things.
Okay,
yeah.
that is
Supernatural
energy.
Supernatural
Yes.
energy. Yeah.
I mean, I assume they were supernatural. I think what bums me out is I was excited to be excited about nuns. Like, I was like, cool. These seem like chill nuns. And then they're not. And I was disappointed.
The leader was not. The rest of them were fine.
Yeah, they were under like a spell or a curse or something like that. Like under some sort of control. So they were technically cool. It just got weird.
Not to blame them, but like they followed this leader.
But do we know they did it willingly? Like, was there some other kind of like mental hold on them that we didn't really get to see?
Wasn't the situation that those nuns were killed by
some of them? Yeah.
Doc Holliday and or Wyatt Earp unfairly, so they felt scorned, kind of went to this soul church with their little safe woman leader who's not trying to kill them.
Right.
You know,
I guess this whole nun situation I think was very interesting. It was a clever concept. I would kind of be interested to learn more about them. The fact that Rosita's staying to kind of lead them now. I
can't wait to get an update
them again.
I hope we see them again. Like just pop in and check in how they're doing.
Oh, I love it.
I really do feel like as followers, they were like, we just need somebody in charge. And so that's how they ended up with a demon in charge. So like, I think they were just lemmings. And so they were like, Rosita.
Some lost people are though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Rosita was, all the puns and jokes they made with Rosita staying were, so good.
I wanted to just like high five myself in the face with a chair with all the puns. I was like, Jesus Christ.
And Wynonna flirting with Rosita so much. I was like, hi.
I was like, get it.
I really love that everyone flirts with everyone on this show.
It's fantastic. It's all I want. Also, yes, I still laugh at the boot throw also to Erin 84 in the chat. That was funny. Oh, look, it's Chris Hemsworth in shorts.
Xena reboot. Yeah.
No, I would turn. If they said they were doing a Xena reboot, I would turn.
You're like,
Lucy Wallace, where?
I've got news for you, Alexis. Moving on. Let's talk about the Peacemaker's return. I kind of wish it stayed a sword.
A little bit.
Me too.
I was like, it changed forms because it grew. Oh, I like. Oh, it's back to the gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could we have it where it's unlimited ammo? Because if it is a special gun, I almost feel like her just putting in regular bullets seems like regular world, and I'd almost want it to be a self-contained thing because it is supernatural.
I mean, that's also why I wanted it to be a sword.
So
she wouldn't have
Maybe I've just seen She-Ra and the Princesses of Power too much, but I kind of wish that it could change into what she needs it to be.
Yes.
Ooh,
Good point.
I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at this point, I feel like if next half season they decide to do that, I don't think anyone would question it, right?
They already made a She-Ra joke, so they're
Right.
aware.
They're aware that it's possible. But like Peacemaker, we're now done with the curse and we're looking for new purpose. And so the idea that this gun sword could be a gun sword or could be a shield or could be a lasso of truth, could be any of these things, I think would be not shocking or surprising. I think it would be very understandable in terms of like plot.
Yeah, Wynonna
I'm
also
saying this
shouldn't-
so they know that.
Yeah, no, I understand. And I'm glad that you explained it in that sense, because I feel like people are going to be like, what? But I also just had this image of just like Peacemaker turning into a rope or like a whip or something. Oh, yes, I hear you. And
Exactly.
And yeah, no. And I think that's what it's going to be. It's just going to be like, oh, okay, Wynonna. And she's gonna be like, oh, I like this. You know what I'm saying? It'd be great.
Sorry, there's a dog barking and a cat
I'm
crossing
sorry.
the screen. I'm so excited.
No, I love it.
There's
She's
excited.
very
we are-
excited. Yeah.
Next to her.
Fluffy cat.
Oh, baby.
Hi,
He's
kitty.
cute.
Aw.
This show's the
We're gonna
best.
get distracted.
All right, let's talk about the Clantons and this whole situation. I loved that Doc and Holt were like, we're tired, we're done.
Yes.
I do like that it was two dudes that are surrounded by women that are like, I'm tired. I'm just so tired. And they made a truce, and I'm so bummed with Wynonna's decision. I know that Tim kept telling us how much Doc wanted to grow and be more than just physical and wanted to like.
I'm so proud of him.
And I get it now. I mean, I get it. I was like, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it's understandable that the Clantons wanted the baby. So it makes sense. The issue is there's still one left.
Yeah.
Is she going to kill Cleo now? Is that the plan?
I was wondering that too, because then it almost felt sexist of like, we got to kill the males in the line. And then like, are you going to go kill the lady too? Because Waverly doing it, I don't know if she necessarily meant like pure. She was doing it to save her love. Like it wasn't like I am ending you, and she might not even meant to be like I want you to die. Which thank goodness Angel Powers came back. Oh my gosh! I was wondering that. Side note.
But you're right.
Yeah.
I think are we going to deal with the fact that Waverly killed a lady? Like, is that going to be an issue for her? Is there going to
or did she put down a demon?
I think she killed a lady.
She's human, but the question is, could she have changed? Because her son, talking with Doc, I believed he could change. I believed him.
Oh no, he can change. Her, no.
Her, no. I don't believe she would have ever forgiven that grudge. So it's definitely complicated, but this is one of those moments that Doc should have pulled out his cell phone and been like, Wynonna, guess what? So I've been talking to somebody.
Right.
We need to chat.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have this.
I know.
But I think it's interesting because I think that it would make sense for Wynonna to kill Mam, right? Like the heir to kill the heir. I understand that. Mam was.
I mean, technically, she did the second heir.
Right, the
That's
next
true.
in line. But I think that it's very interesting that Waverly killed a person, and I think that that's going to weigh on her. And I am excited to see that. But I think it's so heartbreaking to see Wynonna just shoot a guy in the back.
Yeah, and in the back too. That was
was interesting, right? Like I'm not saying that it's like completely out of character for her. It just seemed interesting, if that makes sense. You know? I don't know.
But also so Mam's issue was this family grudge, which based on when we first met Cleo, who says it's a family thing. I think Cleo's gonna stay with that grudge, and she hates Wynonna anyway.
Yeah.
But I want to understand about them wanting to steal the baby, because that doesn't seem like, is that you stealing the baby? You're gonna raise it and make it a clanted to hate its people? Like,
yeah, I guess just to cause more.
Or is there?
Yeah, just to have, I think, just to have a bargaining piece.
Yeah,
maybe. I noticed this in the chat, and good point for Waverly. Jamie says she killed Bobo too, but he asked for it, referring to Waverly.
He did.
So true. And I mean, she mainly did it to save Nicole. Like, if there was any other way, she probably wouldn't have.
She only did it to save Nicole,
Yeah.
and they told her specifically that both of them had to be dead to break the covenant. So since Nicole was technically a spirit in the frog, she was dead. So the Nan had to be dead at the same time so that she could, you know.
And she
I understand. I just think up until this point, Waverly has been kind of our like the good one.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
kind
she
of
hasn't murdered anyone.
Right. Maybe the only person who hasn't killed anybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's interesting. And when she killed Bobo, it was to save him, to free him.
Yeah.
Also, he wasn't a human.
True.
Yeah, it's tough. But I think you were right, Yael, to have it like, since we got to deal with Nicole kind of going through her struggle mentally and the decision that she made and the deal that she made. Now we're kind of dealing with Waverly, where she was given an ultimatum of like, I have to kill you. And I mean, she went in there with like, you know, the shotgun and like ready to like kind of deal or have her own deal. And then eventually she just kind of was overcome with, I guess, emotion and purpose, and then just went for it, you know? So it will be a nice, but I also, like I said, I think it's great that we're also getting a lot of switches where like now Waverly's going to have to deal with this. And then now we have Doc, who's seemed like he's really growing in his sense. But then we also have Wynonna, who's very stuck in her ways right now. So it's very interesting to see the flip sides of everything now and how the second part of the season is going to go with the dynamic. Because clearly after that discussion with Wynonna and Doc, this seems like we're going to be in a different rough patch than we have in the past.
Yeah,
for sure.
Now, Alexis, you made a really good point and a good question then of if Waverly is going to go kill Ma'am, why didn't you just hurry up and shoot her? Like,
that's what I'm saying. I think she was trying to figure out, like, instead of me shooting her, is there another way to do this?
Exactly.
Yeah. That seems like typical Waverly is like, can we talk about it first? And as she was talking, Ma'am kind of just, you know,
she was like, nope.
No, she went for it. Yep. It pushed her. It pushed her enough.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where we go.
I think Waverly had more than enough motivation to kill.
Ma'am, for sure.
Oh, yeah. She did no longer viewed as human, and I would have done the same thing. So
and it almost seemed like Doc was kind of okay with some of the destruction towards the Clanton family when he found out that they were killing their own family.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Billy, right? Because he seems like he's still in the transition phase, right? The question is, were he full Reaper, would Nicole have been able to like speak through him?
Yeah, that's the thing I got scared was that I didn't know if she would have been able to communicate. 1, 2. I also don't know like how far gone you would need to be. I don't know. I don't understand. Again, the Wynonna Earp science. I don't understand how it works.
Right. I feel like the Reapers are undefined. In that, like the first one we met seemed to be just like goal oriented.
Screecher.
Yeah. Didn't speak
talk
much. Yeah. So the fact that not only could speak for himself, but could also speak for a ghost is very interesting. And now that we've like dealt with whatever the issue is that we're dealing with, are we going to help Rachel get her man back?
Yeah, with Ma'am dead, is there any way to like bring him back from that?
Or is he a Reaper forever, or in the process of being a Reaper?
Or could
forever?
can we halt where he is and like him be a supernatural side helper or something?
I also feel bad because I'm like, I love how, I mean, obviously we didn't have enough time in the episode because we were already in celebration mode, but I was like, is he still in that? Is he still in the basement, just mad chilling in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
probably. I just like I have shots, and Billy's like, hello, anybody? Let me out.
I need to use the bathroom.
No, they'll walk in there and be like, "Oh, you had to use the bathroom."
Well, are there any any storylines I missed? Any plot points? Yes.
I like this in the chat. Lily says, "Can we also bring up the fact that we never got an answer which book Waverly chose and the effect of that?"
Maybe we won't get that answer yet. Maybe
so I read an interview. I want to say it was TV Line spoke to Tim, and he talked about how the next half is really like it's all very connected. It's very well orchestrated. There's a very clear plan. I think what we have to remember as an audience is that this was not an intended stopping point. That this is the middle of the season, and that the world got involved, so we had to stop. But this is we're middle of the story. We have so much more to do. So we got to keep that in mind. We still got to deal with which book she took. Eve is still somewhere. BBD is still doing whatever it is they're doing.
I was going to say, I was like, well, we don't know what's going on with Black Badge. No one has reported back.
Cleo's still somewhere, and she hasn't found out yet that her brother and mother are dead. We still got to, I would like more information about them taking the baby. That's what I want more information. Cause I feel, sorry.
There's a baby.
There's a baby.
Speaking of a baby.
Yeah. I want more information about that. I lost all my train of thought now because there's a
I'll put them down.
Well, the other question too is like, what? I mean, we're not quite to predictions, but what could be the next villain or problem for the next half of this season? Because there always seems to be something new popping up, but we've kind of gotten rid of a lot of those major obstacles.
Yeah.
At least supernatural ones.
Right, but now we got Peacemaker, so even if there is a supernatural one, it's a lot less of a stretch.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into our favorite moments and least favorite moments. Amber, you want to begin?
Yeah, my favorite moment by far was definitely Waverly going full angel and just flexing on Ma'am. I loved every minute of that. And I was like, it was a moment where I went, oh yeah, she's part angel. Like, it was such a righteous moment in so many ways because, she had been to that house. She had seen Ma'am be rude to her for no reason. She had seen Ma'am be terrible to her son, who her friend Rachel has a crush on. She's heard that she killed Billy or made Billy this terrible thing. She's only seen just pure evil from this woman. And I love that just her touching her head of her pure intentions, I'd like to call it, melted the crap out of Ma'am. I was just like, yes, why didn't we think of this before? I love it. I didn't think about it and I loved it. So that was my favorite part. My least favorite part, I don't know if there was one for this episode. I really liked everything about it. I didn't like that Rosita and Wynonna had to fight for the death. I thought that was really contrived and I didn't really feel like there was any reason for it at all whatsoever.
That's my favorite part.
We're usually pretty nice to each other, but
so I have a theory as to why that was. It feels like the head demon nun was like, be hot, you two fight. And that was how the decision came about.
She was off of that chaos. Yeah.
She was like, all right, now you brought her. And I'd like to see this occur. It's kind of just like a pure
power play, but
also just whatever urge comes to her. She's like, that's what we're doing now. And I kind of like that type of willy-nilly villain who's like, this is what I feel at this moment. Now I'm hungry.
Neutral. It almost felt like she could feed off that energy because she was like, oh, good, there's something between you. Some monsters eat fear or something like that. Right. So it felt like she's like, ooh, I like this fighting spirit between you. Like that, I don't know how she eats it, but that would be something she could consume.
I definitely, especially because she kept mentioning it too, of I can't remember exactly what the feeling was or the the emotion that was happening. Something like that.
Something like
I don't remember what it was, but you clearly she kept like repeating it. So I felt like, I mean, it's not technically the term I'm going to like spit out right now, but like getting off, I guess, in a sense, but not in that exact sense. Just like she
enjoying
taking it in. Yeah, there's some sort of pleasure with that. I agree that when it first started happening, I was like, are we seriously having a nun fight club right now in this church? But then at the same time, halfway through, I was like, we are getting a nun fight club in this church. Like, it was weird. I had weird mixed emotions. But I think, at least for me, my favorite moments was pretty much anytime Rosita, Wynonna, and Doc were just in the same scenes together. Like, that whole, like, trying to figure out how to get her off that island was hilarious. I loved every minute of it. It was great.
I love the pinky swear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you serious?
Okay.
Like, come on, just pinky swear.
So for me, pinky swears are like a big deal for me. So like when they did that, I was like, I feel so seen right now. Like literally all of my friends know that if I put my pinky up when I'm saying something, they're like, oh, Alexis is serious. And I lock mine. So I'll wrap pinkies and then I lock it in when I do that. So I'm weird. So, but I embrace it. But like, yeah, that was really, I loved that. That was awesome. I didn't have a least favorite moment. Yeah, I didn't have a
Kari?
least favorite
It's adorable. No,
Kari?
I loved the flirting between Wynonna and Rosita because Wynonna kept just dropping compliments about Rosita, which was really funny because Rosita almost didn't quite seem to notice, like, thanks. Like, that didn't really happen, but it's funny, like almost like Wynonna was compelled to say these things of like, oh, like your perfect breasts and like your full lips or something, and you're so great. And it was like, okay.
Yeah, they got to the point when she was like, God, I forgot how good you smell.
Yeah. And it was just really funny.
And I was like, okay.
But maybe that's why it was so good, because it was really weird and awkward that you're like,
yeah,
it really felt like it pulling the information out of her, kind of a thing. And then I agree, same with Amber, the angel moment with Waverly, I cheered, I had my hands up like, yes, because I was wondering, and I brought that up on this of like, are we gonna see this again? Like, I would really like to, like, moments like this was a good moment to use the ability, but like maybe not every day she can do something, but there are moments like this where it is intense. And Amber, I think you explained it great of like, it is her pureness that was able to like essentially cast out the evil, because ma'am at this point is just pure evil. Like, she had no good left in her. And so that conflict was really interesting to watch. It was like, yes, angel powers.
I think it's interesting because I definitely thought we'd see the angel powers in like Nicole being brought back. I thought that was where she was going to use it. And she did, but in a different way. So I think that was a fun surprise for me, because I assumed that would be like, they'd bring out of the water and do CPR and then it wouldn't work. And then angel power.
Yeah.
But instead we went different way, angel power.
Also, Nicole smacking the Reaper, like doing the first shove. I had a cheer moment too. I was like, yes! It was rewarding that she could do something. Because, it's like, oh, just a light switch. But like, that makes sense. Like, she has that. I'm like, yes.
My favorite moments were angel ghost astral plane Nicole. Like, first of all, sparkly dress, hell yes.
But gorgeous.
Yes, that dress was so cute.
But also, like, I liked astral plane Nicole. Like, she had to figure out how to get the message to them.
Morse
code. Like, it made sense. It felt so right. That was my favorite moment, is the whole astral plane Nicole. My least favorite moment, and this is just a personal issue, is I don't want Doc and Wynonna broken up. Like, I didn't like that they broke up at the end. I was like, no.
Yeah. She can be saved. I mean, Wynonna, I feel like me out of most people weren't really bothered by him being shot in the back. Because I felt nothing but compassion for Wynonna in that scene. Think about everything that she's been through in the recent, not even in her whole life, which has been fucked, but like in the recent season, everything that she's been through has been absolute chaos. And she's just trying to protect her sister, hopefully Nicole. Now she's got Rachel. Now maybe her daughter's back. And I felt just like, get rid of the problem. Like, shoot you, shoot you, kill you, you're dead, you shut up, I'm in charge. Like, I can just so relate to just sort of freaking out and just being like, nope.
Because see, all of this she needs to
like another loose end tied up. She was like, okay, next.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want all of that.
Sat down for a moment and, maybe taken out of chaos mode, but like,
right.
Yeah.
She's just tying up loose ends. She doesn't have time to have feelings about Clayton right now.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
All those things make sense. And now this is the next scene we need where Doc and Wynonna can explain these things. Because absolutely all of that makes sense. And if she could just use words and tell him these things.
I mean, she kind of did.
He would understand. I mean, she kind of did, but they really haven't had a long discussion whatsoever. And that's what they need to have, like, this is how I feel, this is what what I'm going through, and growth.
Yeah, it's just, it's all face value right now, unfortunately. But when they have that long discussion, or something will happen in order for them to kind of force themselves to have this discussion, because they're both stubborn, they're not going to talk about it. Right off the gate.
Trapped in a room scene coming up.
Yep, I'm waiting for it. It has to happen. Either trapped in a hole somewhere, trapped in a room, tied up or kidnapped.
Nothing to do but talk. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it has to happen. It's very TV-esque. Like it's gotta happen. Trapped in someone's mind psyche. It's gonna happen. In the garden again. Who knows?
Since we're already predicting, let's get into predictions. I know Amber has some predictions that she'd like to share.
Yes, Amber, share.
I think that the reason that she so clearly kind of Wynonna turned quite cold and out of character, especially with the line saying, she didn't care about honor because blah, blah, blah. It's just like, I think the reason for that is because we need a final bad guy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And for us to kind of lose faith in our hero a little bit, she's been hardened a little bit, and now the team has to work on the leader to get her to reason. Mm. She's not being rational right now. But she's in survival mode right now. So I wonder with the remaining season if she's going to become less reasonable. Especially if Doc is not agreeing with her, because she tends to get crazier when Doc is in disagreement with her, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Like if he's not backing her up, then if he's backing her up, she calms down. And if he's like, well, you can't do that, she's like, she gets a little bit more difficult. So
we've seen a little bit of that in the teaser of her walking around. Looks like she's kind of possibly drunk.
Kind of possibly.
Kind of possibly, probably.
Yeah, but I think that the worst thing that could happen, let's think about the worst thing that can happen. I think the worst thing that can happen is that Wynonna has to put down Rachel.
Okay.
And how do we lose Rachel? She's in love with a boy who needs to also be put down. So I think we're going to open back up. My prediction is we're going to open back up on the next season. Billy's going to be in some sort of way. He might come back for a minute and then have some lingering evilness. Wynonna's going to have to put him down. Meanwhile, Billy has been working on Rachel to like turn against them or whatever, fall in love. It doesn't really matter.
I don't think he even needs
each other, and it's scary. That's enough.
I think he doesn't need to work on her.
Rachel is going to seek revenge on Billy's death, and that's going to be the final boss, is Rachel.
I totally see where you're going. I think that Billy...
Or something like that.
But Billy being put down, I think would be enough to set off Rachel.
I think so, too.
Because he sacrificed his soul to save Wynonna, which is how he ended up a Reaper.
Yep, and when Rachel finds out about that, it's going to be a whole nightmare, because then she's going to be like, what's the matter with you? He sacrificed himself, and she's like, well, I'm going to sacrifice him for the greater good. All right, and then
because he's a Clanton. He's still a Clanton. He's part of that family.
Yeah.
And then who's Rachel going to take out to pay her back?
Yeah.
Well, the question is, how is she even going to see her?
Amber.
It makes sense though.
How are they even going to see him though to take him out? Because only Waverly was the one who could see him.
I mean,
again,
Doc said he heard some news.
Somebody's frustrated. Any other predictions before we?
Aurora and I in the chat had the same thing where I thought that, I'm not saying that I didn't want Peacemaker to come back because obviously that's a huge staple of the show and Wynonna and everything like that. But I was kind of in this interesting thing of like, not saying that it isn't Peacemaker, but maybe that's the reason why Wynonna acts so recklessly is because of Peacemaker. So I don't know if that is the thing that's going to be pushing her to do that again. Do you know what I mean? Because she went through a good amount of time without it, and she had to learn and find different ways to take care of the things that were happening in the River Triangle. And so the fact that now that she has it and it's kind of her easy way out, not saying that it's not a bad thing, because again, that is part of her identity, but she also doesn't have the curse anymore. So I feel like Peacemaker might be doing some actual damage to Wynonna in this sense than it being like the whole thing. Because remember, they kept bringing up the whole Wyatt Earp thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that maybe because of the fact, even though the Earp curse is gone, that maybe the underdarkness of what Wyatt was going through might be affecting Wynonna, and that is why she is going through the, again, not evil stages, but that's the reason why she's acting so recklessly in this sense. Again, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I just I like it. But
Peacemaker is giving her more bloodlust.
Yes,
maybe.
Again,
I like that.
I mean, because if you think about it, the fact that they took all these weapons, the nun or the demon nun or whatever, and they were like, oh, we took all these because you guys, we like to see you guys in chaos. You know what I mean? So like in my brain, that gave me this weird keyword of like, she got Peacemaker back from a demon that had a bunch of weapons ensuing of like violence. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was kind of adding on to it was what I was thinking. So again, I'm not saying that it might not be actual Peacemaker, or maybe Peacemaker isn't good for Wynonna. She should break from that and find a different way to take care of these demons, supernatural stuff without Peacemaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that.
But I was also in the same boat with Amber, where I'm like, I don't think Rachel's gonna make it to the end, and not meaning that she's gonna either turn evil or whatever. I have a feeling that Billy is going to, obviously we already said that like they work on her, but she doesn't really need to do that because she's already pretty loyal in that sense. But I feel like because Rachel's going to know what Billy really wants, and no one's going to discuss this with anybody else, that Wynonna, since she's in Bloodlust, is just going to act, and then she's going to try to kill Billy or succeed in either way. And either A, Rachel tries to step in the way and takes the bullet for him. And then everyone's going to be like, oh my God. And then maybe that will be the thing that breaks Wynonna, because she killed one of her family in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that maybe she'll, drop Peacemaker and be like, oh my God, like, what did I just do? You know what I mean? And then, I don't know,
These are great predictions.
I'm curious what's going to happen with Chloe, because at this point, either she's going to do her own revenge because she's all by herself in a way, or if she was like, peace out and like left. Because because she could do that too. Be like, well, there's nothing now to keep her almost.
Right.
Yeah,
that like if she leaves, would Wynonna let her just leave? Like, all right, fine, I won't kill you. You are banished, essentially. But
maybe if Wynonna grows by the end, she could get to that point. But I feel like in the beginning, she's going to be like, no, I'm going to find her and I'm going to get rid of her. You know what I mean?
I just hope there's growth, because we have seen this like roller coaster pattern with Wynonna of like, like great high, bad problems, especially like with her relationships. And then she has such low lows. And I mean, yes, it makes her human, but like, I just want to see a little bit of progress of growth, of self-awareness of like, maybe these are bad patterns that I should stop doing. But that might be asking a lot from her. But I think for Waverly too, she's going to have to like reconcile that she's killed someone, even if it was with good intentions. Like, I don't think it's going to necessarily like weigh too heavily on her soul too much, because it was like the different things of like, here's the reasons why, or at least Nicole will be like, hey, this is what it is. I hope we see more growth from Nicole too, because we were concerned with her mental state and everything, and she seems to be much better now, really quickly. So we'll see where that goes. And then I want more of Nedley and Jeremy as part of the team. I love that Nedley is so much part of the team now. I felt before he was in it like just a little bit, but now he's like really full-blown member. And it's like, okay, let's just see more of this, because it's when they work together that everything works out better.
Yeah, well, we cannot wait to see where the next half season goes. Until then, we are all over the internet, so you can follow all of us. Our social names are written, oh man, I messed it up, right in the corner. So you can follow all of us really quickly. Let's do some quick outros. Kari, where can everyone keep up with you?
Yes, they follow me online at Kari D Lane, KaridLane, Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome. Alexis.
You guys can find me at atorres890. Also, I'll be starting a gaming streaming channel called Squeak Queen. You'll find it there. You'll see it all and that stuff as well.
Yes. Amber.
Thanks for watching, guys. You can watch all the replays of this on my YouTube channel right where you are. So thank you so much for hitting subscribe and like. It means the world to me. You can also find me anywhere on the internet called Amber Plaster, because I have a weird last name.
Awesome. And right at 1 o'clock, I'm going to be on Twitch. So grab a snack and come continue chatting with me on Twitch at Yael Tygiel. That's YaelTygiel. YAELT will get you there, I guarantee. Thank you all so much. We loved having you here all season long. We will see you when the show returns.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, all right.